A large percentage of college undergrads and graduate students would see their tax bills increase under the House plan. At research universities like Stanford and Harvard, the new tax bills cut in half some graduate student stipends, and all students and families would lose deductions for student loans. Meantime, the Senate version so far leaves out most of the higher education provisions that are in the House bill and retains education-related tax credits, like a non-taxable annual grant of up to $5,250 that employers can offer their employees. For more on what these potential changes mean to higher ed and the economy, we're joined by Diane Swong from DS Economics. Diane, thank you for being here.
Good to be here.
It seems like the one that really could hit, for a lot of graduate students in particular, in the House bill, it means that they are going to waive the ability to not get taxed on the tuition grant that your college gives you. So all of a sudden, if that's $40,000 a year, that'd be a huge hit, right?
And in addition to what you're earning as a research associate or a research assistant of about $20,000 a year, so all of a sudden you're paying a tax of, say, on $60,000 a year. It's really ridiculous. And, you know, having gone through graduate school myself with a lot of these things, I would have had to pay taxes when I was earning these things myself. I got through school getting these kinds of things. And it's just really against what we want to do, and that is invest in human capital and increase productivity, especially, I mean, these people who have these kind of jobs that are tied to a PhD grant are really working. It's labor. I mean, they're working a lot of hours. Once you figure out how many hours they're working, it's oftentimes less than minimum wage.
This, by the way, is in the House bill. Not clear. I don't think it's in the Senate bill, or maybe they have the opportunity to react to that and make sure that it's not. What about student loan debt, Diane? The deductibility, or the tax credit for that would go away. But that's not a huge impact for people financially, is it? Every year, or
that's not nearly as big. And obviously, what matters is, I think what matters is, you know, what kind of tax rate you have. And if you have a lower tax rate, of course, you don't mind not having the deductibles as much. And so that's supposed to be what the trade-off is of these reforms. What I would argue is, when I look at this and look at sort of the really strange pay-fors that we have in the House bill, and there's other odd pay-fors in the Senate bill, you start wondering, it's still adding up to $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion in adding to debt over the next 10 years. And you say, you know, that's going to sort of harness these kids that are currently in school with higher interest rates and higher debt burdens down the road, and it's not clear that they're going to get these benefits that they keep arguing out of it. There was the debate you referenced earlier about how much your corporate tax cuts actually turn into investment. I think there is an opportunity for corporate tax reform. I think we do need it, but I think it needs to be done revenue neutral. I really am very disappointed that they're giving away an opportunity to do this right and sort of messing it up by trying to run so quickly at it and not doing it deficit neutral, sort of adding to the debt. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Diane, underlying this is the process of coming up with, as you put it, pay-fors. And they're basically picking on groups that are politically quite vulnerable. They don't control a lot of votes. Graduate students, easy to pick on graduate students.
Easy to pick on,
easy to pick on residents of New York and New Jersey.
You think?
The Democratic states. If you're a Republican, they're easy to pick on.
They already lost votes because of that. I think it's easy to go after New York, New Jersey,
if you're
California.
I think the senator from I'm there with Kelly. I think the salt stuff is a little harder for them to go after, but the pay-fors, you know, it's never easy. It took 3 years to get a bipartisan result in 1986. It was 10 years in the making, but there was a public sense to it. They actually went through all the process. They talked about it. They had a sense of what the intended and unintended consequences are. This is just sort of all ideology and not really thinking through it. And you know, I just got back from Washington. It amazed me how many Republicans were against what's in the sort of detail, the dirt and detail of these two proposals. And that's really frustrating that they're not even for it themselves, and they don't want to add to the debt like what they're going to be doing. I don't understand why they're doing it this way, except to get maybe a check of a win.
Yeah, made it through the House, but still a ways to go. Diane, thanks very much for joining us.
It's a pretty tough climb in the Senate.
Yeah, Diane Swong from DS Economics.